The Deathworlders had always been explorers. They were humans trained to survive in the harshest conditions in the galaxy. Their bodies were strong, their minds sharp, and their courage unmatched. They had walked on planets with boiling skies, crossed deserts that could burn the skin in seconds, and lived in frozen wastelands where the cold could freeze a man solid. Nothing had ever stopped them. Commander Rin stood on the bridge of the starship Ironclad. Her eyes scanned the vast emptiness of space through the transparent shield. Stars shimmered like tiny fires in the dark, but something unusual caught her attention. The sensors had detected a signal. At first, it seemed like a faint burst of noise, a simple cosmic interference. But as the instruments adjusted, a pattern became clear. The signal was intelligent. It was a call for help. Rin leaned closer to the console. Her fingers flew over the controls as she isolated the source. The signal came from the edge of the obsidian expanse, a dangerous sector where many ships had disappeared over the years. No one ventured there lightly. The signal was weak and broken, as if it had traveled across thousands of light years and fought to survive. Yet, it carried a simple, urgent message. SOS. Rin turned to her crew, her voice calm but firm. We have a distress signal. It is not human. We are the only ones close enough to answer. We go there. Lieutenant Mara nodded. She was young but had fought alongside Rin in many missions. The obsidian expanse is full of hazards, Commander. Nothing survives easily there. Rin smiled slightly. Exactly why we are going. Humans survive where others fail. We are Deathworlders. That is what we do. The crew prepared for the journey. Ships were inspected, weapons checked, and survival suits adjusted. Every member of the team knew the dangers. The obsidian expanse was not just empty space. It was filled with sharp asteroid, fields, radiation storms, and unpredictable gravitational anomalies. Many species avoided it, calling it a death trap. But for humans, it was just another challenge. As the Ironclad moved through the void, the crew worked in silence. Mara monitored the signal. The SOS is getting stronger. Whoever sent it is nearby, but the transmission is unstable. It may not last long. Rin nodded. We need to be ready for anything. Remember, we are humans. We do not flee. We face danger and find a way to survive. Days passed as the ship approached the source of the signal. The stars began to thin, replaced by dark clouds of cosmic dust. Strange lights flickered in the distance. The crew felt a tension in the air. None spoke, but all knew that something awaited them. Finally, the ship emerged into view of a small, shattered moon orbiting a dying star. The moon was a broken, jagged world. Deep craters scarred its surface, and black rock jutted like broken teeth into space. The star above was dim and red, giving the landscape a strange, eerie glow. Mara tightened her grip on the console. The signal is coming from beneath the surface. There is a structure there, maybe a city, but it looks abandoned. The transmissions are still active but faint. Rin's gaze hardened. Prepare a landing team. We are going down. Remember, we are the strongest species in this part of the galaxy. If anyone can help those in need, it is us. The landing. Shuttle separated from the Ironclad. Rin, Mara, and a team of engineers and soldiers moved cautiously toward the moon's surface. The gravity was weak but uneven. Rocks shifted beneath their boots, and every step could be dangerous. As they neared the source of the signal, they saw movement. Small, fragile shapes emerged from the shadows. The creatures were unlike anything the humans had seen. They were small, with thin limbs and translucent skin. Their eyes glowed faintly, reflecting fear and hope at the same time. One of the creatures raised a hand and pointed toward the humans. It spoke in a language that sounded like music. The humans could not understand the words, but the meaning was clear. These beings were calling for help. Rin stepped forward, showing her hands. We are here to help. We are humans. We will protect you. The creatures hesitated, then slowly approached. The SOS had reached the right ears. The humans had answered. Above them, the dying star cast its weak light over the jagged moon. The journey had only just begun. The Deathworlders had answered a call for help, and no one in the galaxy had ever seen humans face danger like this. Rin looked at her crew, and then at the creatures. We survive, we protect, we fight. That is who we are. And with that, the first step toward a story of courage, hope, and survival began. The fragile creatures moved cautiously around the humans. Their skin shimmered under the dim red light of the dying star. Their eyes were large and luminous, full of fear and curiosity. They had never seen beings like the Deathworlders before. Every step the humans took seemed bold and confident, yet gentle enough not to frighten them further. Rin knelt slightly to meet the creatures at eye level. "We come in peace. We will not harm you," she said. Her voice was calm, but firm. The creatures tilted their heads as if they were trying to understand. Mara carefully brought a small device from her pack. It emitted a soft, rhythmic pulse that slowly began to translate the creature's language into simple words humans could understand. One of the creatures stepped forward. Its voice was soft, almost musical. "We are the Zalari. Our home is dying. The Tirvax came. They destroy everything. We have no strength to fight." Rin nodded. She had expected danger, but the vulnerability of the Zalari was striking. "We are humans. We survive harsh worlds. We fight to protect. You are not alone," the Zalari whispered among themselves, their thin limbs trembling. Some pointed toward the ruins around them. The city above their tunnels was shattered. Buildings lay in rubble, blackened by fire. Machines that once hummed with energy now stood silent and broken. Signs of war were everywhere. Mara examined the ruins carefully. They were advanced. Look at this technology. But it is old and damaged. The Tirvax did not leave much. One of the Zalari, braver than the others, guided the humans into the tunnels beneath the city. The passages were narrow and winding, carved from dark stone. The air smelled damp and metallic. The Zalari moved with caution, but they trusted the humans enough to guide them through their home. Rin noticed how fragile these beings were. One misstep, and they could break. Yet their determination was clear. They had survived long enough to send an SOS across space. That showed courage. The humans and Zalari reached a central chamber. Here, machines still hummed with faint energy, enough to power communication devices. The Zalari showed Rin a damaged console. It was the source of the SOS signal. The transmission had been a desperate attempt to call for help from any species strong enough to defend them. Rin studied the console. "You sent this to the outer galaxy. You asked for help. I am glad you did. Humans answer cries for help. That is who we are." A small Zalari, trembling, asked a question through the translator. "Will you fight the Tirvax?" Rin looked at the dim red light of the dying star outside. She could see the jagged landscape of the moon and imagine the approaching danger. "Yes, we will fight. We will not let anyone harm you while we are here. We are Deathworlders. We face danger where others flee." The Zalari's large eyes widened. For the first time, hope appeared on their faces. They had lived in fear for so long that believing help had arrived was almost impossible. Yet the humans' presence brought a sense of strength they had never known. Mara began checking the damaged machines. "If we can repair some of this, you may help defend yourselves. Even small help can make a difference. You have technology. We have strength. Together, we can survive." The Zalari nodded, still cautious but willing to cooperate. They moved quickly, guided by human knowledge and their own ingenuity. Rin directed the team to fortify the tunnels, prepare safe zones, and repair the energy devices. Every action was calculated. Every decision mattered. The Tiervacs were coming, and the humans needed to ensure the Zalari would survive. Hours passed, and the humans learned more about the Zalari. They were intelligent, clever, and skilled in technology, but their bodies were delicate. The Tiervacs were giants compared to them, both in size and strength. Alone, the Zalari would not survive even one attack. Together with humans, they had a chance. Rin gathered the Zalari leaders in the central chamber. "We are strong. You are smart. We work together. The Tiervacs think they can crush everything. They are wrong. We will show them that courage and determination can defeat even the greatest power." The Zalari listened carefully, their trust in humans growing. Mara added, "We do not fight for conquest. We fight for protection. You are not alone anymore." The chamber hummed with a mixture of fear, hope, and determination. Outside, the jagged moon waited silently. Above, the Tiervacs fleet was approaching, but the Deathworlders were ready. They had answered the SOS, and their presence had changed the fate of the Zalari. Rin looked at the humans around her, and then at the Zalari. She felt a sense of pride and responsibility. "We are here to survive. We are here to protect. The fight is coming. Be ready." The Zalari prepared as best they could, their small hands working with human guidance. They learned quickly, inspired by human resilience. For the first time in many cycles, they believed survival was possible. Rin smiled slightly. "This is only the beginning. The Tiervacs will not expect humans to fight for the weak. We will show them what it means to face the Deathworlders." Outside, the dying star cast long shadows across the broken city. The humans and Zalari stood together, small against the vast universe, yet unbroken. The SOS had been answered. The fight for survival was about to begin. The air on the moon felt heavier than before. The humans worked tirelessly with the Zalari, reinforcing tunnels, repairing energy consoles, and setting up makeshift defenses. Commander Rin stood at the entrance of the main chamber, scanning the sky with a long-range viewer. The signal from the Tiervacs was faint at first, a distant shimmer of dark shapes moving between the stars. Lieutenant Mara joined her. "They are coming faster than we thought. They must have sensed our presence." Rin nodded, her jaw tight. "They are large, strong, and very dangerous, but they have not faced humans like us before. We survive where others die. We can fight them." The Tiervacs fleet appeared fully in view. Gigantic warships, black and menacing, moved as one, like a living shadow across the red glow of the dying star. Each ship was armed with massive weapons, capable of leveling cities in minutes. Even the strongest species in nearby sectors avoided. The Tiervacs. They were conquerors, destroyers without mercy. Mara swallowed hard. "How can we possibly stop them? There are hundreds of ships, maybe thousands." Rin did not flinch. "We cannot fight them one by one. We must use our brains, our courage, and the terrain. These ships are big but slow. They cannot move through these craters easily. They will not expect us to use the moon itself against them." The Zalari gathered in the chamber, their small bodies trembling. One spoke through the translator, his voice high and quivering. "The Tiervacs will destroy us. They do not leave survivors." Rin knelt to meet his eyes. "We will protect you. Humans do not leave anyone behind. We fight because it is right. You survive, we survive. Together, we are stronger than you think." The Zalari exchanged uncertain glances but nodded. Hope was fragile, but it existed now. The humans moved quickly. Engineers and soldiers set up traps along the moon's jagged terrain. Large boulders were rigged to fall with precise timing. Energy pulses were connected to damaged machinery, ready to create temporary shields or bursts to confuse the enemy. Sensors. Every detail mattered. Every step could save lives. Mara worked beside the Zalari, showing them how to use the repaired consoles to guide energy pulses. "You have knowledge. We have strength. We combine them. This is how we survive. Hours passed, and the Tirvax approached closer. The shadow of their massive fleet stretched across the moon. The humans watched through scanners as the enemy ships moved in tight formation, clearly confident in their power. Yet the humans remained calm. They had trained for extreme danger, and this was no different. They relied on skill, strategy, and courage. Rin gathered her team. The first wave will test our defenses. They will think the Zalari are weak and easy to destroy. They are wrong. Our strength comes from preparation and determination. We hit fast. We hit smart, and we use the terrain. Do not underestimate them, and they will not underestimate you. As the Tirvax fleet descended into the outer atmosphere, the first attacks began. Small ships fired energy beams toward the tunnels and ruined buildings. Rocks fell from the cliffs above, crushing smaller attack drones. Energy pulses created sudden bursts that disabled the targeting systems of the Tirvax vessels. The Zalari watched in amazement as humans moved fearlessly through danger, dodging attacks and setting traps with precise timing. "They are incredible," one whispered through the translator. "We have never seen anyone like them." Rin's voice echoed in the tunnels. "Stand your ground. Protect each other. We are humans. We survive the impossible." The first clash was brief but intense. Some Tirvax ships were damaged, their energy shields failing. The humans had used the moon's jagged craters to trap the enemy. Large boulders, timed explosions, and clever maneuvers forced the Tirvax to retreat temporarily. The Zalari cheered quietly, unable to hide their relief. Mara turned to Rin. "This is only the beginning. They will come back stronger." Rin nodded, her eyes fixed on the horizon. "They will. And we will be ready. Humans fight not just for survival, but for those who cannot fight for themselves. The Tirvax do not know what they face." The Zalari, inspired by human courage, began to contribute more actively. They used their technology to repair energy devices faster, create small shields, and even control some traps remotely. Together, humans and Zalari formed a small but powerful alliance. As night fell on the jagged moon, the dying star casting a blood-red glow, the humans and Zalari prepared for the next wave. The Tirvax were powerful, but they had underestimated the strength of determination, intelligence, and courage combined. Rin looked at the Zalari, then at her team. "We survive. We fight. We protect. And we will not fail. The next attack will come, but we are ready." The shadows of the Tirvax fleet moved slowly closer. Above, the vast emptiness of space seemed to hold its breath. The humans had answered, the SOS, and now the battle for the fragile Zalari had begun. The first wave of the Tirvax fleet loomed above the jagged moon like a dark storm. Commander Rin and her team had worked tirelessly, preparing traps and fortifications, but nothing could replace the raw courage and quick thinking that would be required in the coming battle. Rin stood on a high ridge overlooking the main crater. The dying star cast red shadows across the rocky terrain, making every crevice and boulder seem alive. "Remember your training," she said firmly. "The Tirvax are strong, but humans survive where others fail. Use the terrain. Work as one. Protect the Zalari at all costs." Lieutenant Mara checked the energy pulses set around the crater. "Shields are ready. Traps are set. The Zalari are assisting as best as they can. We are ready." The Tirvax ships moved closer, massive war machines that blotted out the faint light of the star. Their energy beams began to strike the tunnels and craters, but the humans had prepared for this. Boulders rigged to fall crashed down at precise moments, destroying small attack drones. Energy pulses created sudden bursts that scrambled enemy. Targeting systems. Rin and Mara moved swiftly among the Zalari. "Stay behind the shields. Do not panic. We will protect you," Rin commanded. The small beings obeyed, trusting the humans completely. Their hope had returned, fragile but alive. Suddenly, a large Tirvax warship descended directly into the central crater. Its massive guns aimed toward the tunnel entrances. Mara activated a trap, releasing a chain of boulders that rolled down the crater walls. The ship wobbled, struggling to maintain balance. Energy pulses disabled some of its weapon systems temporarily. Rin seized the moment. "Now! Move forward!" She led a team of humans, fast and fearless, charging toward the weakened ship. Using grappling lines and jetpacks, they scaled the jagged rocks and reached positions near the ship's base. The Tirvax tried to counterattack, but the humans were quick, attacking weak points in the ship's hull. Sparks flew, and alarms blared as the vessel rocked dangerously. The Zalari watched in awe, inspired by human bravery. Mara guided a group of Zalari to control small energy devices that created temporary shields. These shields protected the humans from blasts and allowed them to push closer to the enemy. "Keep going!" Mara shouted. "We can do this together!" The battle raged across the crater. Smaller Tirvax drones swarmed the area, but boulders and energy traps destroyed many of them. Humans and Zalari worked in harmony, using speed, intelligence, and courage to overcome the overwhelming numbers. Rin noticed another Tirvax ship approaching from the shadows of the crater walls. "Mara, alert the team! We have another wave!" The humans and Zalari quickly adjusted. They moved to new positions, setting additional traps and coordinating shields. The second wave of Tirvax ships was more careful, but they were still unprepared for the combined strength of humans and Zalari. A loud explosion shook the ground as one Tirvax ship crashed into a boulder trap. Energy beams from damaged ships went wild, striking other enemy vessels. The humans used every advantage, moving with precision and determination. The Zalari, inspired by the humans' bravery, began to take small but meaningful actions. Some controlled energy pulses to redirect enemy attacks, while others guided humans through hidden tunnels to flank the Tirvax ships. Their small size and knowledge of the terrain gave them an unexpected advantage. Rin saw an opportunity. "Focus on the central ship. If we take it down, the rest will hesitate. Move now." With careful coordination, humans climbed the rocks surrounding the ship, while Mara directed energy pulses to weaken its shields. The Tirvax crew struggled against the sudden attacks from unexpected angles. Sparks flew, the hull cracked, and the massive ship wobbled dangerously. Finally, a calculated explosion triggered by a trap destroyed the central ship's main weapon. It fell backward, tumbling into the crater, sending shock waves across the battlefield. The remaining Tirvax ships retreated temporarily, regrouping for another attack. The humans cheered quietly, but Rin kept her focus. "We survived the first wave, but they will return. We must prepare. The Zalari are safe for now, and that is what matters." The Zalari came forward, their glowing eyes filled with gratitude. One spoke through the translator. "Humans, you saved us. We thought we were doomed. We did not know such courage existed." Rin shook her head gently. "We survive. We fight. That is what humans do. You are not alone anymore. Together, we will face whatever comes next." As the dust settled across the crater, the humans and Zalari began assessing damage and reinforcing defenses. The first clash had been won, but the Tirvax were still a threat. The battle had only begun. Rin looked up at the dark shapes of the Tirvax fleet against the red sky. "They will come back, and we will be ready. Humans fight for survival, and we never give up. This is only the start." Above, the dying star cast long shadows across the jagged moon, and for the first time, the Zalari truly believed that survival was possible. The moon was quiet for the first time since the humans had arrived. Dust still floated in the air from the first clash, and the Zalari worked tirelessly to repair damage. Commander Rin moved among her team, checking equipment and coordinating defenses. Every moment of preparation mattered, because the Tirvacs would return stronger. Lieutenant Mara approached Rin holding a small data tablet. We analyzed their retreat patterns. They will attack in full force soon. This is not a test. They intend to destroy everything here. Rin studied the readouts carefully. Then we cannot waste time. We need every trap, every shield, every strategy in place. The Zalari must be protected at all costs. They trusted us once, and we cannot fail them. The Zalari gathered in a large chamber, their small, glowing forms flickering with nervous energy. Rin addressed them through the translator. You are safe now, but danger will come again. We fight together. We survive together. Trust in us as we trust in you. One Zalari spoke with a quiet voice. We will help. We will do what we can. We owe our lives to humans. Rin nodded. Your knowledge and courage are more valuable than you know. Every contribution matters. Together, we are stronger than the Tirvacs think. The humans worked with precision. Engineers reinforced tunnels with energy shields and blast-resistant materials. Soldiers placed additional traps along the crater walls and around the main entrances. Every boulder, every pulse of energy was carefully calculated to slow or stop the Tirvacs' advance. Mara supervised the energy devices. We can create bursts to confuse their targeting systems. If timed right, we can force their ships to collide, or lose control. That will give us the advantage we need. Rin walked along the ridges, inspecting defenses. Remember, the Tirvacs are powerful, but slow. They are confident in their strength, but they underestimate determination and teamwork. We move fast, strike smart, and use everything around us. Every rock, every pulse, every plan counts. As night fell, the Zalari helped transport energy cores to remote positions. Their small size allowed them to move quickly, often unnoticed by the Tirvac sensors. Mara guided them, showing where each core could create temporary shields or distractions. You are helping save lives, she said gently. Do not doubt your power. Rin gathered her senior team. The next attack will not be like the first. They will come with larger ships, more drones, and stronger weapons. We will not face them alone. Humans fight not just for survival, but to protect others. That is why we can succeed. Lieutenant Kalen, a sharp-eyed scout, reported from a high ridge. I see them coming. The fleet is regrouping. They are larger now, more ships than before. They are moving quickly. Rin nodded, her gaze steady. Then it begins. Alert every unit. Make sure the Zalari are safe. We fight for them and for ourselves. This is what humans do. The humans and Zalari worked side by side through the night. Energy shields flickered into place, boulder traps were rechecked, and communication lines were tested. Every detail mattered. The tension was high, but determination burned brighter. Mara walked beside a group of Zalari, showing them how to operate small defense devices. When the Tirvacs come, you will follow our signals. Do not panic. Trust your instincts. We are counting on you. The Zalari nodded, their glowing eyes reflecting both fear and courage. They had seen human bravery before, but now they felt it within themselves. Rin climbed to the highest ridge on the moon, overlooking the crater and the surrounding terrain. She could see the faint shimmer of the Tirvacs' fleet approaching in the distance. They are coming, she said quietly, and we will meet them. We survive, we fight, and we protect. Nothing less. The humans prepared final defenses. Jetpacks were checked, weapons loaded, and traps synchronized with precise timing. Every human knew their role. Every Zalari knew theirs. Together, they formed a network of strategy, courage, and hope. As the first light of the dying star touched the crater, the Tirvacs' fleet appeared fully in the sky. Their massive shapes blocked the red glow, casting shadows across the terrain. Energy beams flickered as the ship scanned the area for defenses, unaware of the traps and surprises waiting below. Rin turned to Mara. "This is it. The main assault. Remember what we are fighting for. Protect the Zalari. Protect each other. Fight with courage. Fight with intelligence. Fight as humans always do." The Zalari looked to the humans, their trust complete. "We are ready," one said softly. Rin smiled faintly. "Then let them come. Let them see that strength is not only in size, but in courage, unity, and determination. Today, humans and Zalari fight together. Today, we show the Tirvax what it means to challenge us." Above the moon, the Tirvax fleet advanced. The first beams of light from their main weapons glimmered in the red dawn. The humans and Zalari braced for the coming storm. The battle for survival and the fight to protect those who could not fight for themselves was about to begin in full. The Tirvax fleet moved swiftly across the sky, their massive shapes blocking the faint light of the red star. Commander Rin stood on the ridge, her eyes sharp, watching every movement. Every second counted. Every decision could save lives or cost them all. "Positions now!" she shouted. Humans and Zalari moved with practiced speed, taking cover behind energy shields and jagged rocks. Traps were ready, boulders primed to roll, energy pulses timed to strike at the perfect moment. The first Tirvax ship fired its massive weapon, sending a beam of blue energy toward the crater. The ground shook, but the humans were ready. Mara activated a shield and the beam scattered harmlessly into the rocky walls. "Hold your positions," she said calmly. "We will make them pay for every move they take." The Tirvax drones swarmed, small but fast. They moved like a storm, attacking from every direction. Humans fired with precision, hitting weak points, and using energy pulses to disrupt the enemy. Zalari controlled small devices, creating bursts of light and energy that confused the drones. Rin led a group along a ridge to flank the central Tirvax ship. "If we take the main ship, the rest will hesitate. Follow my lead and watch each other's backs." They moved quickly, using every rock and shadow for cover. Below, Mara coordinated defenses. "Trap sequence active. Boulder drop in 3, 2, 1. Huge boulders tumbled down the crater walls, crashing into Tirvax drones and smaller ships. Sparks flew as metal collided with rock. The drones faltered, giving humans a chance to strike. The Tirvax were strong, but slow to adapt. Rin and her team reached the base of the main ship. She planted energy disruptors at weak points identified during the first battle. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and the ship began to wobble. Suddenly, a secondary Tirvax ship appeared from behind a crater wall. Its weapons fired in quick bursts, aiming to trap humans and Zalari between two forces. "Mara! Redirect energy pulses now!" Rin shouted. Mara acted fast. Pulses shot toward the new ship, causing it to lose targeting control. It veered off, slightly, giving humans the upper hand. "Keep moving forward," Rin said. "Do not let them pin us down." Zalari joined the humans, small but fearless. They moved through tunnels, guiding humans and placing devices to weaken enemy energy shields. Every small action mattered. Every spark of courage helped turn the tide. Rin climbed onto the main ship's hull, securing a disruptor. It hummed with energy. "Now, everyone, fire together," she commanded. The energy devices activated, sending a surge through the ship. Alarms rang, lights flickered, and the hull shook violently. The Tirvax crew struggled to regain control, but the humans' coordinated attack was too precise. One by one, smaller Tirvax ships fell to traps, energy bursts, and human strategy. The drones scattered, confused, and weakened. Rin watched as the main ship lost stability, tilting dangerously. "It's working," she said with a small smile. "Keep going. We are not done yet." The Tirvacs realized they were losing control. They attempted to retreat, but humans anticipated their moves. Mara activated additional traps, blocking escape paths. The Tirvacs' fleet was forced into the center of the crater, where humans and Zalari had set a final trap. Rin took a deep breath and signaled the final strike. Humans fired energy disruptors in unison, while boulders crashed from above, and Zalari guided precise energy pulses. The central Tirvacs ship wobbled, sparks flying from broken hulls, until it finally crashed into the crater floor with a thunderous impact. The remaining Tirvacs ships retreated quickly, their confidence broken. The humans and Zalari watched, breathing heavily, their bodies tired, but spirits strong. They had survived the main assault, and the moon was safe for now. Rin gathered her team and the Zalari. We did it. Today we proved that courage, intelligence, and unity are stronger than size and force. The Tirvacs may return, but they will never underestimate humans again. The Zalari glowed brighter than usual, their small forms trembling with gratitude. We never imagined such bravery. You saved our lives and showed us hope. We owe everything to humans. Rin shook her head gently. We all owe something to each other. Today we survived together. That is what matters. Mara looked toward the horizon. We must remain vigilant. They may regroup, but for now, the battle is ours. The moon is safe, and the Zalari are protected. Rin nodded. We will celebrate briefly, then prepare for anything that comes next. Humans fight not just for survival, but for what is right. We never back down. Today we showed that. As the sun of the dying star rose higher, casting long red shadows across the crater, humans and Zalari worked together to repair damage and strengthen defenses. The Tirvacs' fleet had been defeated, but the lessons learned, the courage shown, and the bonds formed would guide them in future battles. Rin looked at her team and the Zalari. This is the start of something greater. We fight together. We survive together, and we protect those who cannot protect themselves. Today, humans proved that strength is not measured only by size or weapon, but by heart, mind, and unity. Above the moon, the Tirvacs' fleet disappeared into the red sky. For now, the humans had won. For now, the Zalari were safe. The battle was over, but the story of courage, hope, and unity had only just begun. The moon was quiet again. The red light of the dying star reflected off the crater walls, painting the landscape in shades of gold and orange. Commander Rin stood on the ridge, watching the horizon. The Tirvacs' fleet had disappeared, and the humans and Zalari were safe, at least for now. Rin turned to Mara and Lieutenant Kalen. We held the line, and we saved lives. But this is just the beginning. There will always be challenges, and we must be ready. Mara nodded. The Zalari will need guidance. They are brave, but inexperienced in large-scale defense. We can teach them what we know and learn from them in return. The Zalari gathered around, their small forms glowing warmly. You have shown us courage and intelligence, one of them said. We have learned much from humans. Together, we can protect our home and perhaps other worlds in need. Rin smiled gently. We will help. Humans fight not only to survive, but to protect others. We will stand with you, and any who call for help. You are not alone. Work began immediately. Humans and Zalari repaired damaged structures, reinforced defenses, and shared knowledge. Zalari taught humans about local resources, hidden tunnels, and energy sources unique to their moon. Humans shared techniques for building stronger shields, planning traps, and coordinating teams. Mara watched Zalari carefully install energy amplifiers. They are learning fast, she said. Soon they will be able to defend themselves without constant help. That is the goal. We leave strength, not dependency. Rin walked through the repaired tunnels, speaking with humans and Zalari alike. Every life here matters. Every skill, every idea, every effort counts. The Tirvax may return, but they will face a prepared, united front. They will face hope and courage. Lieutenant Kalen approached her with a map. We have scouted the surrounding systems. Some may be vulnerable to Tirvax attacks. With Zalari guidance, we could set up early warning systems and assist nearby colonies. Rin studied the map carefully. That is wise. We cannot fight every battle alone, but we can share what we know. Humans and Zalari together can create a network of protection. We can make a difference beyond this moon. The Zalari were eager to learn. They practiced operating defensive devices, managing energy shields, and planning strategies. Small groups even volunteered to explore safe areas, mapping terrain and resources for future preparedness. One young Zalari spoke to Rin. We feel hope now. We did not think it possible before. Humans taught us bravery and cleverness. We wish to carry that forward. Rin placed a hand gently on a glowing surface near the Zalari. You already carry it. You have courage in your hearts. You have learned to trust each other and yourself. That is more important than any weapon. Evening came, and the moon's surface glowed softly. Humans gathered around small fires, sharing food and stories. Zalari hovered nearby, their light adding a calm warmth. Laughter and conversation replaced fear and tension for the first time in many days. Mara leaned against a rock, watching the interaction. It is remarkable. Two very different species, learning to understand and trust each other. This is what makes us stronger than any enemy. Rin stood quietly, looking at the horizon. Yes, the Tirvax may have power, but they do not have unity, courage, or hope. Humans show it, Zalari show it, and together we create something impossible to defeat. The next morning, Rin called a council of humans and Zalari. We have won a battle, but the war for safety and freedom continues. Our success here shows that bravery, intelligence, and unity can overcome any threat. We will continue to prepare, learn, and grow. We will share what we know and protect those who cannot defend themselves. The Zalari nodded, their small glowing, forms steady and strong. We are ready. Together we will protect our world and any others that call for help. We will honor the bravery humans have shown. Rin looked around, feeling a deep sense of pride. This is more than survival. This is a new beginning. Humans and Zalari together can create a future where courage and hope matter more than fear and destruction. We will carry this forward. From the ridges of the moon, humans and Zalari watched the stars. Each one was a possibility, a place where life could thrive if given a chance. The Tirvax had been defeated, but Rin knew their threat was not gone. Yet, in that moment, there was peace. A sense of unity, strength, and hope filled every heart. Rin spoke quietly to Mara and Kalen. We fight to protect. We fight to survive. And we fight to give hope. That is what makes humans strong. That is what makes this alliance unbreakable. Today, we begin a new chapter for this moon and for anyone who needs help in the universe. The Zalari glowed brighter, as if they understood every word. They had seen courage, learned strategy, and discovered hope. They had been saved, and now they would carry that knowledge forward, defending themselves and helping others when the time came. The humans and Zalari stood together, facing the stars. The Tirvax were gone, but the bonds formed in battle would last forever. Strength was not in weapons alone. Strength was in courage, unity, and the willingness to fight for what is right. The moon was safe, for now, and a new beginning had begun.